All right, you guys, let's start a new project. This is an old piece. It's almost like floorboards on top of here. They're all pieced together, which I absolutely love. Like, I wish I had a floor in my home that looked like this, right? This is on an old, what's it called? Flour bakery table. It's got a little hutch that goes over the top. The bins that pull out are those metal swooped things that they put flour in. Well, it's not actually veneer, it's actually slats of wood were coming up, like all of them. So I am grabbing my tight bond quick and thick, which I love this glue, and I'm spreading it underneath, getting my putty knife underneath there. See, they're all coming up. Can you see them all move? Trying not to break it because I don't want to break the wood, right? I just want to get it glued down. And once you glue it down, it'll stay. I mean, this stuff is 100 years old. It's fabulous. I have not washed the top of it yet. The reason I didn't wash the top yet is because I didn't want the underneath sublayer to get wet. I wanted to glue it first, and then I'll wash it tomorrow, next day, and then I'll sand it down. So I'm just trying to get the wood. I didn't realize how bad it was. Like, there are a lot of areas that it just came up. Like, it came up in big slats. So I have a putty knife that's like super thin bladed and it bends really good. And so I basically just ran my glue underneath there. I tried to. Um, tried to run it underneath there as well as I could. It was squeezing it all off. And then going to kind of push it down. I am going to weight this down afterwards so that it stays. But if you watch, everywhere on this piece, this stuff just lifted up. Not one of them actually came all the way off, which I was surprised. It'd be like a puzzle trying to put it back together, right? I did just buy these syringes for glue. And they're yes and no. The glue's super thick, so they're kind of hard to use. But then I did use them on this in spaces, and I'm just trying to jam the glue underneath there as much as I can. Basically, when I'm all done with this and all the extra glue that's on top, I will just wipe off with a wet rag. And then I'll weight down something to get it really so that it sticks, basically. So you can tell, I had to glue it in a lot of spaces, right? A whole bunch. Whether everything will make it all get weird. So it's an amazing piece. I am stoked about this piece. I love it. It's what did my friend call it? It's a little hutch. There's a hutch that goes on top. So basically, glue it all down, then get a wet rag, wipe all the glue off. You gotta wipe the glue off because if you don't, then when you weight it down, it's going to stick to whatever you weight it down with, and then you're going to peel your wood off. So don't do that. So I'm going to grab a wet rag and just wipe all the glue off. Wet rag, it'll wipe off. It's been a hot minute, but it'll all wipe off. Make sure you do this. Once I was using E6000, which is the glue that, like, seriously you use to, like, glue ceramics together and it freaking sticks forever. I was gluing spindles to terracotta pots. I was making candlesticks way back when, before I even knew what I was doing. And I set it on my kitchen table, and my kitchen table was kind of like this, and it had slats of wood. And I came back the next day and I peeled it off my kitchen table, and it took a big, huge chunk out of the middle of my kitchen table. Yeah, so make sure you wipe the glue off before you stick stuff down to weight down this. There's really no other way to do this other than to get like wood and then what are those things called? Jesus, I know what they're called. You know, the things that you tighten, the grips, the vice grips. What are they called? They're not called vice grips. Anyhow, you know what I'm talking about. To push the stuff down. So this is kind of in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some paint cans. So it's all wiped off. I'm going to grab a piece of wood. I have some old cabinet doors. I'm going to put them on top so that it gives me a flat surface to push against. I'm going to grab a couple of them. And then I'm going to put paint cans on top, like household paint. That was what we used to paint my building. And what it's going to do is it's going to weight this down. Now, putting the wood on top will help make it so that the weight is spread more evenly. You can use the, I still can't think of the name of those things. The clampy things that you can pull down. I don't know why I can't think of them. My brain is totally toast. But, I'm going to just put some full paint cans on top of here on those areas so it's going to really push down in the middle of the table. It's too hard to try to get those clamps on there to hold it down. So I'm going to grab some paint cans. Make sure your glue is wiped off because guess what? If not, you'll glue the freaking cabinet door right to the top of your table and nobody wants to do that. Actually, like I said, I have done that, so... Nobody wants to do it, but Debbie does it. So I'm in my back room rummaging for some paint cans to put on here. Why did I not get rid of this part of the video? Sorry, it's been a long day. It's like I worked all day, did a live, now I'm coming home to do this. I'm sorry, I'm a little rummy. So these paint cans are pretty full. I'm going to get like 2 of them on each board. They're heavy. You know what a gallon of paint weighs? It weighs a lot. So they're like 3/4 of the way full. You can get a cinder block. You can get a bag of flour. I mean, depending on where you're at, you know, use what you got, right? You can, I don't know, anything. If you don't have the clamps to clamp it down, now optimally if I had the clamps to clamp it down on all sides, but it's kind of hard when it's in the middle of the table. It's just super hard. So I'm getting as many heavy objects as I could find. And paint cans were buckets of water. Fill up kitchen pots with water. That weighs a lot too. That all helps. So that just is pushing down a lot of weight on this, which will help it to adhere. And then just leave it there. Leave it there for 2 or 3 hours overnight, whatever you want to do. Don't move it. Don't mess with it. It will make it really adhere and make it stay put. So now we're going to paint the body. Now, this is a brown color. So what we did is we washed it with White Lightning. We rinsed it off. So if you're new to painting, White Lightning is a product by Dixie Belle. It is the most effective way to clean a piece. It's a granular product. Comes in a little jar. It's $6.95 and you'll get 50 million uses out of it. You mix it with warm water. You wash your piece. We used a blue kitchen scrubber to do this one because it has so much grease. You can just feel the grease on it. On the top of this, I can totally feel the grease on it. So it wasn't somebody's kitchen forever. Then you dump out the dirty water and you rinse it with clean water. Then you scuff it because this had like a really bad latex house paint on it. The brown that's on there is not wood. It's like a brown paint, so we scuffed it. Luckily, the top part of this hutch has not been touched. Thank God, because it's going to be so cute with staying natural. So I'm just putting a coat of Dixie Belle's Fluff, which is my go-to white. I love this white. I don't think that's going to bleed, but it could. But that's why I'm not putting a primer down. And I'm just painting it. I'm just going to do one coat, and I'm going to wait, let it dry for 10 minutes, do a second coat. I'm going to heavily distress this piece because it's not supposed to look brand new. It's old. So I'm not really worried. There's a lot of drips and stuff on it from the original paint job. I'll just make those kind of shine onto the piece and just make it look good. Since there's just a lot of straight angles, I went ahead and used my, what is it called? The FA40 brush, which is an angled flat brush. I normally use the 040 brush, which is my favorite brush, but I'm using the Klingon. I want to say it's flat, FA stands for flat angled 40, which is the size of the head. So I just use a little bit of paint at a time. I don't try to get my brush totally globbed up with paint. I will later because I had to take it out of the can, and so I messed up my whole brush. But just a quick coat, and then by the time I get to the other side, I went ahead and did a second coat. And we'll let that dry, and then we're going to distress it, wax it, and then sand the top. After it dries, the paint cans are still up there, still drying. And then stain it, seal it, put it on the floor, and sell this puppy. So I did a live video which showcased what it looked like previously, so you'll see that down below or on a previous post. But anyhow, it's super fun, super pretty. So 2 coats, and then we're going to sand it. So now I've grabbed my piece of 150 sandpaper, and I want to scuff the corners. So in doing that, I'm distressing this. This is not a new piece. This is an old hammered up piece, but hammered up pieces need to have some scuffing on them, some distressing. It makes them look way cool. It gives them more of a period effect, like to where they were from, because if this was originally painted white, it'd be scuffed up, it'd be distressed, it'd have nicks and marks on it. So I am actually just running my 150. I generally don't do this over the flat part of the paint job, not just the corners and the edges, but that is just taking off any of that excess paint, because that brown first layer of paint there's a lot of layers of paint on here. So I'm just taking it. I like to really scuff the edges and get those edges really going, right? Make my sandpaper in half. Go around the knuckles. I should have put the camera closer. You can't really see the distressing. So it's distressed all the way down on all the corners, all the edges. That's the best way to distress. I generally don't distress a lot in the middle of a piece because I don't like the look of it. Unless there's already like a little boo-boo there, then I'll just kind of enhance it by sanding it down, or a mistake, or a drip. That's what you do. So just go to town with your sandpaper. Sometimes these more primitive pieces need to be really sanded up. They really need to be distressed. Don't be afraid, because what's the worst that can happen? If you don't like it, paint it over. Story of my life. Paint it over if you don't like it. This piece is cool. It's on wheels. The wheels are wooden. So I caution you, if you ever have these pieces with wooden wheels, please do not roll them along the floor. They're 100 years old. They break. Pick them up if you can, especially if you're going to resell them. I mean, if it's in your own house, do what you want. But I never roll these if I don't have to. I mean, they've lasted this long, right? But I don't want to take that chance because I've had too many of them break. All right, you guys enjoy. I will show you a video of the finish later. Thanks, bye.